Hi, I'm Dr. Andra Brosh. I'm a clinical psychologist and holistic nutritionist. With the world opening up after the pandemic, it's not uncommon to feel a strong sense of anxiety and fear around what this new normal is going to look like and what it's going to feel like. I want to tell you two reasons why feeling anxious with the world opening up is normal. The first reason is that anytime we go into a new experience that's unfamiliar, we feel a sense of anxiety. Think about a first job, the first day of school. It's this mixture of excitement and intrigue and fear all mixed together. It's not necessarily a bad thing, and it's to be expected. The second reason it would seem very normal to feel some sense of anxiety going back into the world after COVID is that we've been through something really challenging and scary. So it would seem perfectly healthy for the mind and the body to perceive a small sense of threat out in the world. This threat is very real for many people, and it has been very real for us for the past year and a half. So it would be expected that to enter back into a world that was very frightening and threatening to us, that it would be a little scary going back in again. So the way that we work with this type of anxiety is we want to stay somewhere in the middle, because when we push our anxiety away and repress it, that just creates more anxiety. It feeds the anxiety. We don't want to ignore it and not express it or explore it. So that's an important factor. The other side of the anxiety that we need to think about is we don't want to over focus on it. So we don't want to go so heavy into the anxiety and worry that it paralyzes us from moving forward in our lives. So we want to try and find a happy medium between the two. And what that looks like has a lot to do with leaning into the anxiety and the fear and accepting it. One of the ways that I like to talk to people about managing their anxiety and fear is understanding inherently what anxiety does for us. And we have two choices. We could look at it as being kind of a scary warning sign, or we could look at it as an opportunity to have more information that we can use. So when we lean into anxiety and we embrace it and we recognize and honor it, we would let it work with us and for us. So I encourage anybody who's moving into this new world after the pandemic to really honor their instincts, their intuition, their fear, their anxiety, and not ignore it, not get too obsessed with it, but really respect it in a way and let it be a bit of a guide. We need to rely on our intuition and our body's evolutionary wiring to protect us in times where we feel threatened and things aren't safe. So if we don't honor our intuition or we ignore what we're feeling, we're really ignoring some very important instincts. So I encourage anyone to talk to a therapist, a good friend, to process feelings, to really explore what's underlying the anxiety, if there are any other contributing factors. Many people with trauma or a history of anxiety, even pre-pandemic, are going to have a harder time moving into this new world. There's a precondition to anxiety that will exist. So it's very important to take the time to work on this and to really take space for yourself and figure out what's really going on so you could move forward in a very authentic way and a way that feels specifically right for your personal life.